you're going to understand about thumb mode and how the thumb mode is different from the ARM mode, and what are the other different modes. So totally your ARM will be operating in a 7 different mode plus 1 thumb mode. Totally you can say 7 plus 1 different modes your ARM processor is going to be operated. So now we will understand what is the thumb mode, how the thumb mode will be executed, what are the advantages of the thumb mode, and what are the other different modes your ARM processor is going to be supported. So those things we're going to understand in this video. So let us start the video with a thumb mode. So guys, already in the introduction part, I have explained you what is the thumb mode. The thumb mode in the sense, your processor will be operated in the 16-bit operating mode. So ARM will be operating in two major modes. So it's called as a ARM instruction mode, and second one is called as thumb instruction mode. So thumb instruction mode stands for you're going to be operated instructions in the 16-bit. All instructions are going to be converted into 16-bit, and then program will be executed in case of thumb mode. But in case of ARM mode, all instructions will be in the form of 32-bit, and in the thumb mode, instructions will be in the form of 16-bit. So what is the advantage then? What is the advantage that I'll explain in the next slide. Okay. Yeah. So thumb instruction set. Yeah, basically thumb instruction set is a subset of ARM processor, and it is going to be operated in a 16-bit mode. Yes, thumb instructions are 16-bit long. What happens there and in the thumb mode, all instructions are converted into 16-bit mode, and there will be equivalent instruction for the 32-bit. I cannot say all the instructions going to be converted into 16-bit. Around 50 to 60% of the instructions are going to be converted into 16-bit. So that I'll explain you the next slide. Thumb instructions are operated with the standard ARM register configuration only. So this is again one advantage even in the thumb mode. Thumb mode will be operated in a 16-bit mode, but register configuration will be 32-bit mode. So that also I'll explain in the coming slide. Yes, it is possible to switch the interoperability. So you can easily switch from ARM mode to thumb mode. It's called as interoperability. Yes, it is possible easily. On execution, 16-bit instructions are transparently decomposed into full 32-bit ARM instruction. So that means when you decompose or when you compile the program, 16-bit instructions will be converted into its equivalent 32-bit ARM instructions without loss. So this is a very important point I want to mention here. So when you operate in the thumb mode, instructions will be in 16-bit mode, but there will be no loss in the performance. The performance is equal to the ARM mode, but operations will be in 16-bit mode. So that is a one good advantage with the thumb mode. So what are the still more advantages, sir? Now we will see one by one. So when you go with the thumb mode, the thumb mode code density. So code density or program size we will call. So program size will be reduced to 65%. Let us assume ARM is taking 100% core memory, or program size it is taking 100%, but my thumb mode programs will be taking 65%. So almost around 35% is going to reduce the program size when you use in the thumb mode. This is a one good advantage in the thumb mode. What about the performance? Obviously, when you reduce the program size, obviously the performance of the processor will be increased. The performance of the processor will be increased up to 160% compared to ARM. This is again one big advantage with the thumb mode. Yes, so ARM processor you can use in the thumb mode where there is a memory constraints. So guys, when you talk about embedded system applications, memory will be very crucial. So memory part will be very crucial. You should optimize your program and you should reduce as much as possible in order to dump into the controller. So wherever there is a memory constant is there, or wherever there is a restricted memory is there, there you can use this thumb mode instead of ARM mode. So still, what are the advantage with the thumb mode? So even though thumb mode is operated in a 16-bit mode, but you can access all 32-bit registers. 32-bit address space it is possible to access, 32-bit register it is possible to access, 32-bit ALU you can use, 32-bit shifter also you can use. Okay, even 32-bit memory transfer also you can use. So you can use all 32-bit, but instructions will be in the form of 16-bit. ARM mode, instructions will be in 32-bit, and in case of thumb mode, instructions will be in the 16-bit. So this is the big advantage with the thumb mode. It is going to increase the code density to 65%. It is going to reduce, and it is going to increase the performance of the processor up to 160%, because you are operating in a 16-bit, and you can also access all 32-bit information, and ideally suitable for the memory constraints, wherever there is a restricted issues with the memory, or there is a memory will be less. So in those applications we can use our thumb mode applications. Okay, so these are all the advantages of the thumb mode. Then now we will see what are the differences, or how the ARM mode and thumb mode both are different with respect to architecture. So we will see now. Yes. So guys, so in this slide you can see the differences between ARM mode and thumb mode. Okay, so first of all, how do you configure ARM mode and thumb mode? So if you want to configure ARM mode, I should keep t bit is equal to 0, which is available in CPSR. CPSR stands for current program status register. I have already explained this register in the previous video. You can view that video. So CPSR is a current program status register. In that there is a 1 bit is called as t bit. So whenever you keep t bit is equal to 0, it will be configured as ARM, and whenever you're keeping t bit is equal to 1, it will be configured as a thumb mode. So this is how you can configure ARM mode and thumb mode, and we will see the differences. So in case of ARM mode, all instructions are going to be 32-bit. So you can see here, all instructions in the ARM mode going to be 32-bit. All instructions in the thumb mode are going to be 16-bit. Okay, and total number of instructions available in the ARM is 58, but total number of instructions available in the thumb mode only 30. So I told you already, I cannot use all instruction in the thumb mode. Around 50 to 60% I can use. Here approximately 50% instruction you can convert into ARM mode to thumb mode. Okay, that's a major difference. And conditional execution. In ARM mode, majority of the instructions are conditional execution, but in case of thumb mode, only branch instructions are conditional execution. Okay, so data processing instructions. So data processing instruction can access barrel shifter and arithmetic logical unit, but your thumb mode it's not like that. Separate barrel shifter and arithmetic instructions are available in case of thumb mode. So coming to the program status register, the program status register is read and writable in the privileged mode, but there is no access to read or write your status register. Program status register is nothing but your CPSR register. Whatever we have studied in the previous video, same thing. ARM mode, there is a provision to read and write your CPSR, but there is no option to read or write your CPSR register in the thumb mode. This is again a major difference. And if you see the register usage here, so in case of ARM mode, I can see 15 general purpose register, or not to 15 general purpose register, and 1 program counter and 1 CPSR register. So total is 16 plus 1 register I can see in my ARM mode, but whereas in case of thumb mode, I can see only 8 general purpose register, stack pointer, link register, and program counter. So here you can see the register differences in case of ARM mode and thumb mode. In the ARM mode, I can access R12 and R13 as a stack pointer, R14 as a link register, and R15 as your program counter and your CPSR register. And here also same thing, stack pointer, link register, and program counter. So these are all the major differences between ARM mode and thumb mode. A small topic related to ARM, that is called as operating modes. The first one is called as user mode. So guys, already I told you, user mode means it's an unprivileged mode, and in this mode, user can develop programming, and it is open. Any user can develop any application. And let us go to the second mode. So what is the second mode? Second mode is called as system mode. So in this system mode, it is a privileged user mode. So I can say about this mode as a privileged user mode it is. So it's a privileged user mode. Privileged user mode. So this system mode is also called as a privileged user mode, and it uses again registers R0 to R15. In this privileged user mode, you can access R0 to R15 registers, and usually the privileged system mode usually developing applications using program development using RTOS concepts. So if you want to develop operating system related programming, you can use privileged user mode, or also it's called as system mode. So the system mode directly I can say like this. So system mode, it is a privileged user mode. It uses register R0 to R15, and if you want to develop any applications using operating system or RTOS concepts, you can use system mode. This is my second operating mode called as system mode. Third one is called as undefined mode. So undefined mode is used to handle the undefined instructions, undefined variables, undefined instructions. I just want to continue here. Undefined instructions or undefined variables and undefined functions. So next one, the fourth one, abort mode. So this abort mode, it is used to violate the memory violations, or it is used to handle memory violation situations. Next one, FIQ mode or IRQ mode. So IRQ mode stands for interrupt request mode. IRQ stands for interrupt request it is. So it is used to write a program on the interrupt request mode. IRQ stands for interrupt request mode. So in this interrupt request mode, we can generate interrupt, and we can write interrupt service routine in this IRQ mode. And the priority of these interrupts will be moderate, or you can say normal interrupt priority. Second priority will be given to the IRQ interrupt. The next one is called as FIQ mode. So now FIQ stands for a fast interrupt request. The full form of FIQ is fast interrupt request. It is fast interrupt request, and these interrupts will be having high priority. So you can understand here, in IRQ mode, interrupts will be lower priority. In case of FIQ, the interrupts will be with a higher priority. Register access, it uses higher registers, that is starting from R8 to R14. It uses R8 to, so R14 it uses. So totally it uses, it uses R8 to R14 register. 7 register it uses in the interrupt. Along with that, one SPSR register also it uses. So totally 7 plus 1, 8 register FIQ mode uses. With a higher priority, we can generate interrupt. And the last one mode, supervisory mode. The supervisory mode, it is again a one privileged mode. It uses again 3 registers, similar 3 registers, R13, R14 and 1 SPSR. And this supervisory mode, it is used to, it will be entered when there is a reset, or when we press the reset, or when there is a execution of instruction called as a software interrupt execution. So there are two possibilities of entering this supervisory mode: when there is a reset and when there is a software interrupt instruction. SWI we will call. So in short term, and shortly, so we will abbreviate as SWI. When your processor is executing SWI instruction, it will enter into supervisory mode, or so when we reset the processor, it is possible to enter into this mode. So two possible ways. Again, it uses same 3 register, R13, R14 and 1 SPSR register. So these are all the operating modes of your ARM7 processors, or whichever you want to develop applications, you can develop in the handler program. It's called as an exceptional handler. We will be writing a small program that is called as exceptional handler. So using the exceptional handler, you can write a small program based on your privileged modes. Okay, and we will meet you in the next coming video. Thank you.